Good evening, everyone, and I welcome all the participants to the second webinar of the series of the three on well-being in the workplace. These webinars are being organized by Brahma Kumaris, which is a worldwide spiritual movement dedicated to personal transformation and world renewal. Founded in 1937 in India, Brahmakumari's commitment is to help individuals transform their perspective of the world from material to spiritual. It supports the cultivation of a deep collective consciousness of peace and of the individual dignity of the soul. Last week, we had the first webinar on the topic of managing stress, and today's topic is balancing work and life. We have with us the guest speaker for this series, Enrique Simo, who doesn't need any introduction in this field and who is a renowned international expert and a practitioner of leadership, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and meditation. He is from Spain and works as an executive coach and trainer in the area of human resources and organizational development. Regarding today's topic, balancing work and life, well, some of us feel that there is no time for life after work. So, in today's webinar, we will explore ways to create quality time and integrate all areas of our life and live a more balanced life. So the program schedule is like this. We will first have a talk by Enrique for 30 minutes, followed by 5 to 7 minutes meditation. And then we will take up your questions. So please note that you can type your questions in the question and answer tab given on your screen. So now I welcome Enrique. Enrique, please, the floor is yours. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Saurabh, for this nice introduction. And it's a pleasure for me to be another time here and be able to share with all of you some of my experiences, because I always try to share from my experience, to share from my learnings in life, to share from my practices. And because I've passed through these situations also. Last week was stress, and still sometimes I have to manage stress, but now I have more techniques, more tactics, more ways to deal with it. And of course, this topic from today, balance work and life, is such an important topic and such a general topic also, because this is one of the main topics in my coaching sessions. I work with many managers of internationally, also in Spain, but big companies. And one of the main problems is this one: how to find this balance, because usually they are very focused on job, and they say to me, because I ask them always, what is the most important thing in your life? And I would say 95% or more, they say to me, my family, my children, my wife, my parents. No one says myself, because it seems selfish, but always is family. And then I ask, how much time do you spend with your family? Oh, there is a lot of work now, but I love them so much. On weekends, yes. But I say, you work also weekends? Well, sometimes I have to be connected. So then if you say the most important thing is your family, but you don't spend quality time with them, then in fact, your unconscious mind is saying that the most important thing is your job, because it's where you put all your attention, all your energy. So let's explore a little bit this subject, so interesting. And I've created the talk connected also with the questions that you have sent before. So I will try in the lecture, in the talk, to answer as much as I can all your answers. So let's explore. Sometimes we say manage time, but time is limited. So depends on where we put our attention, how we prioritize time to use our time in one way or another. There is no more time. And also for many managers and many professionals, it's so clear that work nowadays, especially nowadays in the world we are living now, and especially now with coronavirus, work will never finish. You can work and work and work day and night and never will finish. You will have always something to do. I always have something to do. And if it's not work, there is another thing. But life is like this today and now. So many things to do. So there will be always something more to do, especially with work. So the question is not how to manage this work, because it's always a lot of work to do, but why I'm devoting so much time to work and less time to myself, especially to myself and my family. And my experience talking to so many people and also myself tells me that we have to explore some assumptions that are behind this lack of balance, and so that we can understand and also how can understand the word balance in a better way. Because for me, there is not such a thing like a lack of time. Depends on where you put your priorities. Mm. So some assumptions that are behind this lack of time or lack of balance, some assumptions are some thoughts that we have that doesn't allow us to create time for ourselves or for our family and connect us much more with our job. For example, assumptions like I have to do my job perfectly. Anything done perfect is not okay. So this consumes so much time. And to many professionals that I work, I say, can you do things 80% perfect, not 100%? And you would see that the result will be almost the same or even better, because you don't need to do so much things. They don't ask you for so many things. But there is this assumption that makes us behave in not in a more strict way, and not allowing us to have more relaxing time for ourselves. Another one is I have to do it myself. I don't trust others to do it as perfect as I do it. And I ask them, but when you started, someone trust you, someone give you the opportunity to do things and to learn. So why you don't do these things with other people in your team, in your work, or in your life? Why? You are the only one. But this is a belief that we have behind our mind, in our unconscious mind, and is influencing our behavior, and especially taking our time. Another one, I have to say yes to everyone. I have to please everyone. If not, I can lose my job or I can be rejected. So this is not apply only to work. Sometimes applies also in family. I say always yes to my children, to my wife, to my husband, to my parents, and I try to please them all the time, because in this way I will feel his love or her love. And it's not true. You don't need to please everyone. You need to teach everyone sometimes to do other things, and to create some kind of natural and harmonious harmony of relationships where you can talk freely, and you can be a little bit more assertive and say things in a more clear way, and say sometimes no when you need to say no, and not always to say yes. So this also consumes a lot of time. Another one, I have to be strong and not ask for help. I have to do it myself. This is what others expect from me. This consumes all your time, because it's never ending story. You always have to be strong. You have to, yes, I will do it. Yes, I will finish. Yes, I will. Don't worry. I will finish. I will do it. And all the time there are things to do, things to finish, things to more to do. Another one is I have to appear extremely competent. So this means long hours of work, and you expect also from others to do the same. And then you start to have a controlling attitude. Mm. If you don't do this, then you feel guilty. So it's like a circle. You have these thoughts, but if you don't do what your thoughts are telling you, then you feel bad, you feel guilty. I have to work more, maybe. And if you have free time, because these habits are so strong, when you have free time, or you don't know what to do with this free time and you distract yourself with mobiles, with TV, or other things, or you feel guilty thinking that maybe you have to devote more time to your work. So this requires a lot of effort in the job with these assumptions, especially when you try to please everyone. But what is behind all these behaviors? So what is the attitude that is behind all these kind of thoughts? Because this is the key questions to balance your life. And what is behind? There is fear, there is insecurity, there is a lack of self-respect for yourself, to take your time for yourself. There is a lack of self-trust. You don't trust in yourself. So people, many people try to manage better their time. They do courses about managing time. They make plans. They have agendas. But almost all the time, these plans doesn't work. And why? Because it's so important to understand this point. You cannot manage external things if you first don't manage your internal world. Yes, I can repeat. You cannot manage external things if you first don't manage your internal world. If you are afraid or you feel insecure and your thoughts are weak ones, your plans will not work. You will not have the determination to put them into practice. So, what do you need to do? And here comes the question. And it's always the same for me, because my experience is that to pause, to reflect, to write, to meditate, to connect with myself, this is the key to so many changes in life. And this is one of them. So I need to develop this self-respect, this clarity inside myself, clarity of my purpose, of what's important in my life, and also the energy, the determination to put this into practice. I will only change or do things differently when I have a higher aim, when I connect with something more important, when I connect with something that is more meaningful in my life. I will not make a change just saying, I need to be more time at home. I need to work less. This doesn't work because this is not motivational. You need to create some, something that is really important in your life. And when you say my family is really important, if you know that this is important, you will create time. I remember when I was working for Telefonica a few years ago, I was as a coach working for managers there. One of the chief officers of Europe, so a high position, they told me that they were in a meeting at 5 in the evening, the afternoon, and in the middle of the meeting, he says, I have to go. And they asked him why. And he said, I have to go to pick up my daughter at school because today is the day I pick up in the school. So some of them, they were a little bit upset because they, how can you leave a meeting here in your position and go for your daughter? But he was very clear about his values, his time. He was devoting a lot of time to the company, but at the same time, he had some days that it was so clear for everyone that these days I have something also very important to do. So he taught his people, he trained his people and the people around him to understand that there are other things important in his life. And he was continuing to work in this work. He was not fired. But people understand that when you are working, and when you have other priorities, you also have these priorities because this is important in life. So we need for that to connect with what is important in our life. We need to sit in meditation. We need to pause. We need to reflect. There is no other way. You cannot do it just by thinking about it. This is what people does, just thinking about it in a rational way and saying, yes, I know that this is not good. Yes, I know that I have to balance my life. Yes, I know that I have to do more exercise. Yes, I know that I have to spend more time with my wife. Yes, I know. And nothing happens. Yes, I know doesn't work. So I need to stop, to pause, to write about my situation, to write about the things that I want to change. But the most important the things that I really want in my life, what is really important in my life, and not what is important, what is really important. And then visualize, feel it. Not only think about it and visualize it, but feel it and convince yourself that you will work for that purpose. Today, before this session, I had a coaching session with a manager from a big bank company. And he wanted to change his life because he feels that he's drinking too much beer. He's 100 kilos and he is too much, too fat. He's becoming very irritable. So he realized that he has to change something in his life. But he knows beer is not so good. Eating so much is not so good. And he tries many times. So then we have done a visualization. I said to him, stop, pause, reflect. Visualize yourself as your best version of yourself, personally, fit, energetic, flexible, agile. See yourself in relationships, having a good relationship with your wife, having an energetic relationship with your team, being enthusiastic with your children, and see yourself in your work, being more active in the meetings, being more quiet and pausing so that you can listen to other people. So I made a visualization to him and we were almost 50 minutes with this exercise. And at the end, I said to him, you like the exercise? He said, yes, wonderful. You see things? Yes, I've seen things. I felt things. I saw myself in different ways, especially physically. And now I'm more clear of what I want to do. It's not because eating is not good, drinking is not good. This is not motivational. It's because now I see myself in a different way. I want to be like this because this will have an impact in my relationship. My wife will be much more happy. My team will be much more uh, inspired because they will see that I have the willpower, the energy and the motivation to change myself. And at the end, what motivates other people is your change, your personal change, your personal transformation. So he was really happy. And this is what I invite you also to do, not just to think, sit, meditate, visualize, feel it, convince yourself that there is something more important in your life to do so that you can find time for yourself. If not, you will spend all the time working because fear and insecurity makes you use these assumptions. I have to be all the time here. I have to do it all myself. I have to be perfect. So take time for your self-respect and connect in meditation. Connect with your true self. See yourself as a conscious being, as an independent being, as an energy that is the actor behind your role. And connect with your true self-respect. You are a peaceful being. You are a loving being. You have a lot of inner power. So feel the inner power that you have inside yourself through meditation. And you need to do this every day because to change this insecurity, to create this energy inside yourself, you need to train yourself every day. It's like like as going to the gym. You need to train every day to create muscles and to be strong. So for that is the same. Don't just think, but reflect, write, meditate, and see yourself in a different way and connect with your power. And then when you feel that you have a little bit more power, energy, clarity, connection with what's important, with the purpose, then decide which small changes do you want to make in order to create time. Look, what is the difference? Not to manage time, but to create time. This creates a very big change in my mindset. I cannot manage time, but I can create spaces of time to do something different. So maybe you have to be less perfect. As I said before, instead of 100%, do it 80%. Maybe you have to say no, find the moments and the people that you can say no without having a problem. Maybe you need to have a conversation with your boss, with your team. Maybe you have to set a timetable to leave your job a certain time. So find little things that you can start to do. Maybe you need to be less complacent. and be more assertive and say no many more times. So choose situations where you want to behave in a different way and decide it and start to acting and doing it every day a little bit. Small steps. We call sometimes in coaching baby steps, so that every day you feel that you are moving forward in the to achieve your purpose. Then you need to have courage, and challenge yourself, because fear will come back, and these thoughts will come. Oh no, I have to be perfect. What will they will think? Oh no, no, I have to say yes to everyone. But manage these thoughts and say, okay, I know you, but now I don't want to put attention to you, and I will challenge myself and try something different and see the results. And slowly, slowly add new behaviors and continue to gain little moments of time, so that finally you can feel that your day, not your life, your day, every day has a little bit of everything that's important for you. Mm. So the idea is to create more time, because you have to also, to create this, to do this, you have to ask yourself another question is, why do I want more time? What is the reason for that? And be honest and clear with yourself and convince yourself of what's important for you. You know, I've met people who say for me, as I said before, family is the most important thing for me. And then they spend hours in their job, more than expected. And then I say, are you sure? It seems like you are escaping from your family. It seems like you are spending more time because you don't want to face something, or what happened there. So I help them to reflect. I will put an example of myself. I was working in Expo 92 in the year 92. It was a big international expo in Sevilla, south of Spain. And I was part of uh, art, art programs in the public spaces. We had to deal with artists and help them to create pieces of art in different places. So there was a lot of work. You know, there were deadlines to finish the work, and it was a time for the expo, and everything has to be finished. But I say to my director, and I say, look, I will stay here working if really it's important and needed. But if not, at 7 in the evening, I will go home because I have very important things to do. And it was real. It was meditation. It was giving courses, because I was already doing these things. So when there was a meeting at that time, I was so determined that the director looked at me at 7, and in the middle of the meeting, she was saying, Enrique, it's 7. If you need to leave, you can leave. We will continue. Don't mind. I say, okay, thank you. I will leave. So everyone was looking at me. How can this person leaving the meeting at 7, and all of us, we stay there? You know, the rest of them, they had fear to say something. I was clear in my purpose. And when you are clear in your purpose, they understand that something important is there. Of course, I was very effective in my job. Of course, I was working a lot during the day, and they were seeing this. But I was saying, I'm completely focused on my job during the work hours. But when it's my time, I only will stay if really is important. So then you give them this, they feeling uncomfortable if it's not really important. So many times I went home at 7, and sometimes I had to stay, but it was not every day. Most of the days I were leaving at 7, and I had my time for myself and for doing discourses of meditation with other people. So for me, it's not time management, but for me, it's creating time for what is important to me with courage and conviction. And this is very important. You need to be convinced, and it needs to be true that you are doing this. It's not that you want time just to um, distract yourself. Then you will not have power for that. Mm. So now this was about the assumptions, the beliefs that are behind our behavior. But now let's talk about the word balance. because I would suggest you to change this word. For me, I changed the meaning of that, and I changed the word balance for the word integration. Balance sometimes means separation. I need a balance. I need time for work, time for myself, time for my family. So balance means different times put together. But I think more as a integrate everything, and it will give you a different feeling during the day, during every day. Because I realized that, listen to my colleagues of job, of work, and they were saying, oh, I'm expecting the weekend, I'm waiting for the weekend so that I can disconnect from my job. And then they were saying, oh, Monday I have to connect again with my job, it's so hard. And then I need Friday to disconnect. So I was seeing that there was not balance, because connecting, disconnecting. So I thought, I have to connect to my job every day, and I have to disconnect from my job every day, and I have to connect with myself every day, and I have to disconnect from myself every day, and I have to connect with my relationship. So every day has to be a connection with the important things in my life. So the idea is to find little moments to pause and connect with yourself during the workday. Find these small moments to make a phone call, or maybe to a relative, or to your spouse, or to your children, and also use the time of work to create relationships, good relationships. In few minutes you can have a nice conversation, short conversation, but creating good feelings. So this also gives you the sensation that you are not only working, you are also creating good relationships. And I would say that in my last 35 years at least, I never have go for looking for a job. I always find jobs because of good relationships that I have created in my previous jobs. So relationship for me is the key to continue to work, to find new works, and to build your life, and having support with people that you have created these good relationships. Mhm. So don't focus only in your job, in your work. Create moments of connection, moments of awareness, and also moments of silence. And you will be surprised of the impact of this attitude. You will work better. You will get better results, and you will create better relationship with people. I always, when I go to a place to work, sometimes there is a workshop, sometimes I have to spend a few days there. The first thing I do, and you will not believe that, first thing I do is not place how the work, where I will do the work. I look for a quiet place where I can go there for few minutes or few moments just to be with myself and in silence. And I have such a ability, such a skill to find these places that in few minutes I have found a place. And when there is a break, or when it's time for lunch, I always say, please, I will come in 5 minutes. I have a phone call to make. And everyone understands that. And then I go to this quiet place, maybe a corner, maybe downstairs, and I seat myself and I meditate, just put my mind in silence, refresh myself, reconnect with myself, and then continue. This is so important for me. I always think where I can stop and refresh myself. I remember when I was working Expo 92, um, my job also, after this job of the art in the public spaces, after that, there was, my job was the chief of protocol of a big pavilion. So I had to be all the time with my phone here, organizing visits, dealing with people, so many things to do, and all the time talking. So I said, how can I stop a little bit? So I put a sticker in my phone there. So every time I took my phone, I see this little sticker, like a point, little point of light, so that I can concentrate in this point. And when people say to me in the other side of the phone, oh, please wait a minute that I have to go there or do something, and I come back, I took these moments and say, okay, don't worry, I wait for you. And I was saying externally, I wait for you, so that everyone knew that I was waiting for the phone call. So I say, okay, this is my moment. So with the phone here, I was looking to this little point, this sticker, and I was thinking, I'm at peace with myself. I'm in silence. I'm connecting. So I was meditating in the middle of the office with a phone in my ear and waiting for the phone call. And every time I create this habit that people say to me, wait, I meditate. For other people, this was very stressful moment. How can I wait? So many things to do. I have no time to wait. Phone me later, please. For me, it was a contrary. The contrary. I was waiting for these moments. I was waiting for them to say to me, please, can you hold on in a moment? I come back in immediately, but I have to do this. Okay, okay, don't worry. I wait for you. And I was meditating. So this is my idea. This is my point. Find moments. Break your day. Connect with yourself. Right? And then at home, when you go back at home, create moments of really be present with your loved ones. Avoid devices. Avoid TV. Sometimes people say, I sit with my wife, with my children, seeing TV. This is not connection. This will give you not satisfaction. And create moments of connection, of joy, of play, of enjoyment. Doesn't need to be a lot of time, but enough time to disconnect from job and give love and receive love. It's so important, the energy of love. We need to share love. We need to receive love. We need to give love. If our life is not filled with love, then there is no meaning in our life. Only work, going home, seeing television, talking about general things or the news, and then go to sleep and eat and go. It's not a life. A life is when you share love, when you receive love, and you can do this also in your job. I remember that I was creating this more uh, close relationship in my job, not being very personal, but asking people, how do you feel? How are you? So some people were feeling bad in the job, being very stressful. So they enjoyed to come to me and have just a chat of a few minutes, but it was enough for them to feel a little bit more comfortable. So it gave me also a feeling that I was not only working, I was also supporting, helping, giving a little bit of love to other people. So try to integrate in one day many of the things that you would like to do or would like to see in your life. So for that, the idea is sit in silence again and find moments to refresh your mind. And if you believe in the divine, to connect with the divine and reset like the computer, reset your mind, and you will feel refreshed. So every day you need to refresh your mind, and you will feel that there is no need for balance, that you have an integrated life, mm, full of different moments of renewal and connection. Especially in the morning, before starting the day, create time for yourself. This is my technique. I wake up early, so I create time to meditate, to read something motivational, to write, to do a little bit of stretching exercise. So when I start the day, I have already done all the things that I want to do. Then connect with your family, then share something nice, and then start to work. But don't start to work the first thing that when you wake up, see your mobile, send emails. Don't do this. Create energy in yourself, connect with your loved ones, and then work. And you will see that your energy will be completely different. And when you go back home, again, take time for yourself just to pause, to disconnect, because this is important to clean your mind so that you can be present with your family again. And at night, don't use your time for TV or these things. No, read something interesting, write something, have a nice conversation with your children, with your spouse, and enjoy the company. Go for a walk, do a little bit of exercise, and then go to sleep. And you will see that you will not need to have a balanced life because every day will be balanced. And now let me show you a little bit the summary of all this with a slide so that you can see all these ideas and recommendations. So the main thing, as I said in the last workshop also, is to pause, reflect, and have clarity on your purpose. This is this is the key point, because this will create lot of um, changes in the long period of time. Then see what new behaviors you want to implement to create time. Then connect with your true self and the divine meditation. Every day you need to do this to create this energy of courage and determination to do it, to do the change that you want to see. And integrate every day small moments of all the things you want to see included in your life. So this is why the first steps are very important, because first you need to reflect and really connect with what's important, to write it, to remind yourself, because if not, they will disappear very quickly. And then how to integrate all these things. And find partners to support you. Maybe a spouse, maybe a friend, maybe a colleague in your work. I always try to do things together with other people, because I know that sometimes I don't have such a willpower. But if there is another one day I help him or her, and the other day they help me. So if you create partnership in your activity, maybe sport, maybe meditation, maybe just sharing tips how to manage better with your time, then you will feel more, not only supported, but more motivated for that. And every day, you need to have at least moments of being present with your loved ones, with yourself. You need to have moments of joyfulness, to smile, to laugh a little bit, to enjoy life. Small moments, very little small moments, but it's important every day just to have moments of this energy of joyfulness. You have to have the energy of positiveness. Don't read and don't listen to news all the day. Just connect with positive things. Compassion, you need to be compassionate, means to understand other people, to be empathetic with other people, to help other people, because this is an energy that also helps us to feel satisfied in life. Then this vision of the future about yourself and your future and your family, hope for the future. Don't create thoughts of fear of the future. Create hope in the future. And very important, for me, it's one of the main things, silence. Create spaces of silence. I need every day to create in the middle of the day, in the middle of my job. Sometimes even I ask people, okay, now share into pairs when I'm working in a workshop, no, present face to face. And I say to them, now talk about these questions into pairs. And I'm there in the front of them. They are talking and I'm meditating in the middle. I meditate with open eyes. I see all of them. I see everything. And at the same time, my attention is within. I see myself as a soul, as an energy. I say to myself, I'm at peace with myself. I'm connected with myself. I'm quiet. I'm silent. And I trust that when I'm in silence, when I'm connected, whatever I have to do after, I will remember it and I will do my best. And this is my experience. More and more time, of course, I have experience, but more and more time, I put more attention in my energy than in the content. Because content also I know and I prepare, of course, but I know that what reaches people is not the content, it's the energy that you have, is the stage that you have, is the enthusiasm that you have, is the clarity that you have. So this is what reaches other people and the experience that they get. And this is what gives me satisfaction. Only data, information, content doesn't give me so much satisfaction. But creating my stage, being in silence, create peace in my mind, create love in my heart, create enthusiasm in my attitude. This gives me satisfaction. And then I feel that my day, it's really full of richness, full of life, full of energy. So let me now finish with few minutes of meditation, and then you will have time also for questions answered. But I've tried to include all the questions that you have done before in this short talk. So now, find a firm posture and at the same time relaxed so that you can spend a few minutes connecting with yourself. And now breathe deeply. And relax a little bit your shoulders. Relax a little bit your back. And start to connect with this moment, the present moment, as it is. Accept everything as it is right now. And just breathe consciously. Observe your air breathing in and the air breathing out. And just be there. Give yourself the gift of a moment of silence. Allow yourself to disconnect from everything that you have done during the day and everything that still you need to be doing. And now allow yourself to be present, to be here, to be in the now. Focus your attention in a little point of light in the middle of your forehead. Bring all your awareness to this point and see yourself as a tiny point of energy. Forget your body, forget your role, forget your position, forget your personality, and just become a small, tiny point of light. For a moment, just play with this idea. See yourself in the center of your forehead and experience yourself as this being of light, completely independent, free, at peace, quiet, and silent. Enjoy one moment of silence being there, becoming the point, becoming the light in silence. And now feel a beautiful golden ray of light coming from beyond the universe, descending on you and giving you so much energy of love, of peace, of compassion. And you only need to open your mind and open your heart to this beautiful ray of light and allow this light to touch your mind, to touch your heart, and feel this beautiful energy reaching you, filling yourself with love, peace, and compassion. And if you do this exercise every day, different moments during the day, to connect with your inner light and to allow this beautiful ray of golden light to reach you, you will see that your life will change. And you will feel every day it will be a beautiful day because you will not need to disconnect at the end of the day. You will connect and disconnect and connect and disconnect during the day. And you'll feel much more satisfied. So now you can breathe deeply. That's it. Very good. Smile, move your body, and come back. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Enrique. This was really wonderful. And when you were describing the characteristics at the workplace,
Mhm.
I was feeling as if you are describing me a bit. But that has been the case. I think that's the case for most of us. Interestingly, I have learned several new phrases, new things today. For example, taking a pause and trying to connect with myself. Well, I was thinking that I am what I am. So how do I connect with my own self? Can you elaborate a bit on that aspect?
Mhm. The idea is to understand. This is why we need to reflect. No, meditation is not only to practice meditation, in fact, but also to study about yourself and to reflect. No? So we need to understand first that we are not only the image that we see, we are not only the role that we play, we are not only the personality that we show up to the people, but we are like the actor, the leading energy that is behind all these resources that the soul has. So when I say to connect with yourself, my practice is I connect with the internal energy, with the actor. I call it with the soul. And from there, I act. From there, I use my body. From there, I behave and I relate with people. But when I connect with myself in this sense, with this attitude, I experience peace. Because our natural nature is peace. But we have forgotten this. So I invite you, to all of you, to try this, and you will be surprised that when you go inside, you see yourself as an energy, you disconnect a little bit from the body, from your role and everything that you are doing, and just feel that you are energy, pure energy, conscious energy. This is my true identity. You will experience peace. This was my experience at the beginning. I was so surprised. But then I say, I want more about this. I want more. So I practice, and now has become like second nature. No, I work, I do things, I'm very active, but then I go back, I go inside, I see myself like this little point of light, pure energy. I forget my body, and then peace comes there. It's so beautiful. It's very quiet, serene energy. And I enjoy that. And because I enjoy, I continue to practice and do it. So you need to enjoy the practice.
Thank you. So there is a question that it is difficult to make a clear distinction between work and free time when one is particularly confined to working from home, and especially if one lives alone. So
Yeah.
how do you to manage that?
Yes, you need to be clear what are the things that are important for you. And if you have free time, what do you want to do in this free time? And then create small pieces of time. And I repeat this word, to create. It will not come to you if you don't create them. To create this little piece of time and do the things that you want to do. And you will see that your day will be broken in different pieces, and you will have this feeling that day is more full of things that you like also. I force myself to stand up, to go for a walk in the house, to for a glass of water, or to the bathroom, or I have here a chair, normal chair, and I put myself like this. I stretch my back, I put my feet, my hands into my feet, and I do some small exercises. But I force myself because I know I can get stuck in the computer all the day if I want now. There are so many things to do and so many other things. But no, break your day. So find the time, create the time, and you will see that it's possible. It's possible, but you need to have clear idea of what you will do when you break your time. So you will be waiting for a break to do something. You will be waiting for a break to drink a glass of water or to stretch a little bit or to just to pause a few minutes. So you will have like a clock in your mind that will remind you, hey, you are working now 2 hours. Little break, little break, little break. And just okay. And then you need the willpower to break really from the screen of the computer or the mobile and go and do something else and create the habit. It's a habit, nothing else.
And something about people with whom we are living. So there is a question that my partner is very busy with his work, and how to make him understand about balancing the work with the life.
Yes, I know this. It's happening now. And for that, you need to create space to have a good conversation. Maybe you need to prepare this conversation and to create a good environment for this conversation, not a conversation of expectations of demanding, but a conversation of love, a conversation of understanding, and also a conversation of expressing your feelings. You know, you are so busy. We are not taking time for ourselves. I would like so much to have a little time with you, to go for a walk, to have a nice conversation, and I can help you if you want. So, you know, a nice conversation with love and express your feelings because sometimes the other person is so involved in the job. I've seen so many people like this. I work with people like this that they forget that. And I challenge them and I say, okay, what will you do with your spouse? I remember now one case, no? To be a little bit more with her. What do you think that she needs? Oh, maybe she needs to be more with me and have a conversation. Okay, my challenge is this week you have a conversation with her. Okay, I will do it. And invite her to for dinner. Oh, but no, yes, you will do it. Okay, I will do it. So next week he said to me, I'm happy. I do it. I did it. And it was so nice. And our relationship has improved. And she was so happy. So conversation with love, I think is the only way to create the relationship. Relationship is the conversation. If there is no conversation, there is no relationship. Mhm.
Yeah, and you said look for silence, and I always used to think silence is equal to peace,
Mhm.
but I have contradicting things, like I keep on thinking about the things even when there is a silence, and there is a more or less a similar question also, that when I go inside, I often experience peace. However, sometimes I also find external ripples of stress, sadness. Am I in the wrong place? And it's more or less the same thing which I'm also feeling.
Yes, we have to know that when we are working, and especially nowadays, so much pressure, stress, tension, worries, fears. So these energies become thoughts. These thoughts get stuck even in our body sometimes in the form of emotions, repressed feelings and emotions. So when we start to meditate, sometimes we experience this nice feeling of peace and silence. And other times, this quietness and silence activates an emotion that has been repressed, and and activates and allows them to go. So we have to understand that when we feel this feeling of sadness or feeling of any kind of feeling, I remember the first year I was meditating, I had feelings of sadness that I've never had in my life. But I recognized that were repressed feelings. So it was like a wave, but then went away. I say, okay, has gone. So you need to just accept it. Don't resist. Don't reject. Accept that is something that is there and is leaving you. So be there quiet and allow you feel it. Okay, okay, it's right. And then you will feel that there is space inside yourself. And slowly, slowly practicing all these things. If you do it every day, you will see that all these repressed feelings, they are releasing. But learn the art to be with them, not to reject them, not to ask why are there. It's part of you in this moment. So let them go. Allow them to go. Don't repress them again. And you will see that slowly, slowly you will feel more at peace. Silence will be more clear. And there will be, for me, silence is like having space inside yourself. And for that, you need to clean sometimes things. So don't worry. It's normal. It happens. It happens to me many times. And just learn the art to sustain this little tension for a while and allow them to go.
Yeah, I think, well, in my case also, sometimes I feel that the I'm looking for sense of purpose, and there are two questions related to that. That you mentioned the importance to be clear and connect with your purpose. How to cultivate this sense of purpose and your commitment to it.
Sense of purpose always is connected with some kind of personal contribution to something that is bigger than you. It's not only your work, but you contribute some for something bigger, something for the benefit of the world, for the benefit of your community, for the benefit of other people. So you need time to reflect and to see in which way you can contribute. I had always my internal anxiety, I would say, that I need to do something for people or something for the world. No? I didn't know what. So it took me time, but through meditation, slowly, slowly also, I was finding the thing and was every day a little bit clarifying this purpose. And when you have more clear what you can contribute, then you start to know what to do. To do is the last thing. First, you need to create the energy inside yourself to see clearly, and then things will happen. And for that, again, you need to go inside yourself and ask yourself, what is my purpose in life? In which way I can contribute with my life? And if you ask this question with honesty, and you also put these questions to the divine and to allow other energy, other highest consciousness to help you, you will see that slowly, slowly you will find the answers and everything will make meaning, make sense. And then it will be much more easy for you to take decisions. I've taken decisions, important decisions in my life because of having connected with my purpose. It took me years, but when it was clear, decisions was easy to make because my energy was connected with purpose and I cannot stop that energy. So then you have more courage also to take um, difficult decisions sometimes, but then you feel much more satisfied with your life.
Thank you, Enrique. We are very close to the time, but there is one very interesting question which I cannot resist taking. I think this can be the last question of today's session. The question is, sometimes when I try to visualize the point of light, I get scared and have to stop. I feel panic. And I sometimes also feel that I am passing through some kind of tunnel. Of course, a light of a tunnel of light. But what is your opinion about this?
Sometimes because we enter in an unknown space, we can feel fear or insecurity. But I can assure you that nothing happens. You will not disappear. I, in all my life, almost 40 years already of spiritual uh, uh, talking to spiritual people and practicing, I've never seen a person that through meditation has disappeared and never come back. Never. So, but at the beginning, you can have this feeling. So try to make little moves inside yourself and stay there and go a little bit more and see the light. But also, it's not so important to see a tunnel or to see at the end the light. It's more important to the concentration of the idea, not of the visual idea, but of the idea of I am a soul, I am energy, I am light. It's more important the idea into understanding that the visualization. I don't visualize so much, but I understand that I am pure energy, that I am a conscious being. I understand that. And then I behave as a being of energy. I behave and live my life not as a physical being, but something else. So this is more important than just visualizing. So maybe you don't need to visualize and you need to reflect more on that idea and to understand more this idea and to make it yours. And you will see that it will be much better experience. Mhm.
Thank you, Enrique.
Thank you so
I think
much.
with this we come to the closing of today's topic, today's webinar. Thank you to all the participants for joining us, and thank you to Enrique for your valuable time. I personally benefited quite immensely, and uh, the take-home message for me is to practice. I have noted down in the diary all the points, but the good thing for the participants is that you can find the link of this webinar and the previous session on YouTube. It's there in the question answer chat also, the link to the previous topic. And let's connect again next Thursday, same time with another topic. And that's a very interesting topic. In the right hand side, red colored box is the working in isolation, particularly in today's COVID-19 times. So till next week, same time, same place. Thank you, goodbye, and take care. God bless everyone.
So much and goodbye.
Thank you.
A
Thank
nice
you,
week.
Enrique. Thank you, everyone.